Okay, today's topic is welcome first of all. Thank you for being on time to the class. And today's topic is the plotting points on the Cartesian plane. And the learning goal for today, by end of the today, we will be able to introduction to the Cartesian coordinate system of a graphing, and we'll be using introduced to the concept linear and nonlinear relations. So first, write it down the heading. That's all I needed. And whatever you guys needed, I will inform you so you can take notes. You don't need to write everything. That's one good thing. I don't want you to write everything. That way you're not missing the content. You're focusing in the classroom and then making sure you're doing the right things that you need to get through it. Okay? Okay. Okay, so the topics today is the Cartesian plane. And we're going to look at it and learn about what is the Cartesian plane. And probably you guys already learned this one, and I'm just kind of like repeating whatever we learned before. So that's what we'll be doing it. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. At any point of time you have a question you don't understand, please raise your hand or put a question on the chat box. So that way I will pause and then I'll go back and explain it to you guys. Okay, now let's see the next one. If you look at the Cartesian plane, who invented this one? Let's say, what is the Cartesian plane means is basically this coordinates, basically. When you see the coordinates, and this is called the x-axis. And this is called y-axis. Okay? And every time you see it, will be your first quadrant. This is second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. So on your notebook, I want you to guys draw this one. I'm going to write it down as a right, so that way you know what you write. Right. So draw this coordinate plane, write it down, x-axis and y-axis, put some numbers, write it down one, make a little bigger picture, not too tiny or small. And also want you to write, because when you go to the science class, it has a different names. It's called also input, and this is called output. Leave some enough space for this, so that way you have everything in place. Input, and this is also called horizontal axis. Axis. And then this one is vertical axis. This vertical means goes up and down. Vertical axis. There's another name called dependent and independent. This is independent. And this is dependent. These are all the different names that they give it to you, x-axis and y-axis. And if you go to the science, they call independent and dependent. And if you go to the math, in later days, we call as input and output. And sometimes you see it's like horizontal axis and vertical axis. So it's a different name, just the same person. You can call me Mr. Chipperpali or Mr. C or Mr. Rama. Everything is the same person. It's the same thing, different names up here. So I want you guys to write it down. I'm going to give you enough time, so that way everybody is good to go. So when you're done with it, please show me thumbs up, and I'm going to wait for the other people to finish it up too. Now, when you look at this one right here, this input, x-axis, horizontal axis, this is all about the coordinate plane. This guy right here, this is the guy he invented this one. René Descartes, in 17th century, he's a mathematician, developed a system graphing the ordered pairs on a grid. So this is called the grid. This is called the grid. In this grid, you have quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. And he gave that to names as horizontal line is called x-axis. Vertical line he called as y-axis. So this is basic coordinate system. That's what you normally get to know. Okay, so the next thing, how do we plot a point? I want you guys' eyes on the screen. I don't want you to miss this point. It's really important. I really don't want you guys to miss this. When you write an ordered pair, eyes on the screen, don't write anything. Ordered pair. It's always X goes first and then Y. Even if you look at the alphabet, X comes first and then Y comes later. So X and Y. So if I give an ordered pair, then you first do the X and then look for the Y. Just like when you want to plot a point, you run and then jump. That's what we look at it. So for example, let's look at a point 3, -2. So 3 is the x1, and then y is the -2. What does that mean to us? If I want to plot this point, first, I always start from the 0. Eyes on the screen, guys. I will not repeat. Just repeat it. Just carefully pay attention. Always starts from the 0. Okay? And then from there, what I'm going to do, first is x is 3. From here, I'm going to go 3 units to the right. See, this is plus 3. And it is a plus 3, I'm going to go to the right. If it is -3, I'm going to go to the left. Because you see those numbers, right? So positives on the right, negatives on this side. So starting from here, 1, 2, 3. 3 to the right, and then I see the y is -2. Negative means go down. 1, 2, and you plot a point there. So this is the order pair of 3, -2. Okay, so that's very simple. So that's how you plot the points. 3 to the right, 2 to the down. Because positive 3, that means go to the right. -2, that means go down. Okay, so that's how you plot the points. So what I'm going to do, I am going to show you guys some software to plot these points. I'm going to just one thing, I'm going to pause it right here. So draw this one on a piece of paper on your notebook, and then we're going to plot these points on that paper. And again, I really appreciate it being on time, and also I can see some of you guys are not, thank you. What I can say is like you guys are doing the best. And as we move on, we are going to do a participations too. I see that like typing too, really good. I like that. So your topic is right now you're doing is on your paper, draw the coordinate plane and plot these points. I'll give you some few minutes and we can check that out there. Try to do the best. I understand this is a little challenging, but let's try the best. All right, guys. At this time, all right, thumbs up when you're done with that.